to a Flawsome 20 with Lucy. Today, I wanted to discuss some things about being a mother. You know, we all just celebrated Mother's Day, so this is a great time to reflect on the responsibility. As I experienced being a young mother who plans on being a single mother, I know that there are struggles being a single mother, whether if you are concerned about making sure that your kids have clothes every year for every season, including school clothes as well. So that's a struggle in itself. Another struggle that I came across was just making sure that you have the food to feed your family, right? So just making sure that, I had a job more times than not, then I knew for sure that I was able to take care of my family. So with me, I had 2 children and I was married. The thought of raising 2 children on my own did not cross my mind, but my mom did ask me those questions, like, what do you do if it's just you? Like, I don't have to worry about that. Never would I have to worry about that. But as life goes on, we do go through those obstacles and roller coasters in life where we don't have a choice, right? So you have to do what you got to do. Did you have any struggles raising your kids, whether if it was a 2-parent household or a single household? In general, I believe that we will experience some hardships because from our own values and just trying to respect that child as well. And then you want to raise them to have values as you were taught, right? I ended up being a mother of 2 at a young age, as far as I'm concerned. By the age of 21, I had 2 children who depended on me 100%. So one thing that my mom told me to just kind of ease up my nervousness was, think of it this way: when your youngest is graduated from high school, you will have the rest of your life to live. So that kind of prepared me on putting some of those wants and desires on the back burner, just for now, until I was able to raise my children to the adult age. Not saying that I'm not going to be a mom after age 18. It's just, that was just such an accomplishment to get them to that age. And since I am a faithful Christian, I definitely stay prayed up and I read my Bible. So the Bible tells me to make sure that I am rearing my children up until adulthood. That is my responsibility. That is why I was blessed to have children, because God saw that ability in me to raise wonderful kids, and they are wonderful. But to have that ability and that structure in my makeup to teach them right from wrong and just get them through that are inevitable that we will experience in life. So after literally putting your life on hold onto the back burner, now it's time to find who you are. And that's where I am right now in life, just searching for the new or the old, new improved Lucy. It isn't the easiest task to do. So I've been doing a lot of self-check and inventory over the last 2 to 3 years. I have revealed a lot of positives about myself and some negatives. So I'm working on the negatives, which in my eyes, negatives would be my weaknesses. So working on my weaknesses to build a stronger inner Lucy, and just reminding myself of those positives every day. I try to continue to have an attitude of gratitude throughout my days while I am working towards my goals in life. My top 3 priorities would be to make sure that my mental and my physical health is in balance. Make sure that my children, my fiance and his children are okay. And thirdly is to open up my own business, which that would build financial stability for me, my children, their children's children, there's children's children's children, and their children's 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 children. This is about a long-term goal of building a legacy for those generations behind me. And having my first grandchild has brought that into reality for me. I want to make sure that I build a foundation strong enough and large enough for my children and their children, and on and on. Because what is our goal here on earth as parents? We want to get our kids to adulthood. We want them to be responsible adults, make a difference in this world, possibly bring others closer to God, and just have faith that they can do it all, right? After that, what are we here to do? Well, my goal is to build this foundation for my children. And then one way or another, I will be able to sit back and relax and watch everything just flow. Get in that flow of things. That would be awesome. So that's what my ultimate goals are. And those 3 top priorities in my life is what keeps me motivated and keeps me going. Recently, I had a friend remind me to step back and take a breath. Practice those deep breathing exercises, yes. In through your nose, out through your mouth. To just step back, take a deep breath, and be patient with yourself. Just to be patient with yourself so you're not overwhelming yourself, right? Finding balance in life is definitely a journey, and it has been a journey for me. My friend reminding me to be patient meant so much. It meant so much to me because we need that. We need that reminder every now and again, just so we don't get off balance or get distracted, right? We don't want to get distracted from those priorities you have set for yourself. In times of confusion and chaos, because when confusion comes, there's chaos. So in times like this is where I really am reminded to step back, take a deep breath, and be patient with yourself. Having clarity is necessary for peace. So, living a peaceful life is, I have found to be amazing. While raising my children, I raised them to have faith and to believe in God, and God will get you through hard times, any confusion or hurt or pain. So, have you ever had questions about your faith? My faith has got me through, and where I find conflict with faith is when you're raising children. I wholeheartedly believe that the 2 parents should be on the same page. when it comes to spirituality. Because in one sense, I believe that it can cause confusion within your family. If I believe this way and I'm teaching the kids this way, going to church every Sunday and maybe a Bible study during the week, and I'm getting involved in a church and possibly going to start working in the office at the church, but then we get home and the other parent is not very supportive of that practice, that definitely can and has bring confusion into your household. So being evenly yoked, meaning having the same values and beliefs and even your spiritual background, that is important when you are deciding to build a family. There's times when we grow up a little too fast and things happen without planning, so they are shuffling around to try to do your best. That advice that was given to me to step back, take a deep breath, and just take it in and be patient with myself has brought me to a wonderful place, has brought me to a great place. And that it is important to have both parents having similar beliefs or practices while raising their kids together, whether if that's raising each other on a spiritual level or just on the values and beliefs in life. I most definitely believe that this conversation should be had. This is an important conversation that parents need to have and make sure that that's established. It reduces the chances of confusion within the relationship and within the household. I have a story to tell you. So when I mentioned my faith out loud to the other parent, I was laughed at and made fun of. My beliefs were being downplayed. My prayer and praying was downplayed as well. It's like, wow, right? What are the chances? What are the chances of this person not having the same beliefs as I have? Why is this funny to you? That's something that should have been discussed and talked about prior to having a family. It causes confusion within your household. And in my experience, I've learned if there's confusion, it leads to chaos, right? So if you have confusion in your household, you're going to have a chaotic household. Is it worth it? Most definitely not. It was not worth it to skip that part of knowing someone. And mind you, that's 4 years later, finding this out. How do you deal with something like this? What I did was I talked to my pastor at church about it. I'm like, hey, everything that you're teaching us, the opposite is happening at home. And he ultimately said, I mean, that's in your control. You control what goes on in your household to a certain extent. And your environment is going to change you before you change it. And wow, did that hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, there's no way that I can try to change this person to believe what I believe. Their beliefs are their beliefs, and I have to respect that, as well as me asking someone to respect my beliefs, right? So it's a two-way street. So it was great to learn that from my pastor at that time. And it was encouraging for me because I felt as if I was doing something wrong, or if I was trying to push something on to someone else which that wasn't the case. I just needed to respect the other person, the other parent's belief system, and then decide from there if I wanted to be in that situation. As hard as it was, I did not want to be in that situation anymore, because if it's hard enough as a parent to, or just an individual, to follow those values, and it's hard because it's so easy to just say, oh, whatever, I'm not even gonna worry about it, I won't deal with it. But it's very hard to let go of someone that you feel is a big part of your life, right? So making that decision to say yes to yourself is a step in the right direction. So gratefully me, it took 4 years, but I was able to say yes to myself. Saying yes to myself, I was able to live my blessed life. I had so much like weight lifted off of my shoulders. And I didn't have to do anything. I just continued to stay prayed up. And one thing led to another. I walked in the house one day with the kids after church, and my conflict or confusion was gone. Closet gone. Shoes gone. Yes, I was hurt, but deep down inside, I was like, yay! I don't have to fight this battle within my own home. That story really grew me up spiritually and in my confidence. Just, you can do this. Just believe, continue to believe, and do the right thing. You cannot go wrong. After being able to accept that goodbye, I was able to focus on just me and my babies. I took life a little bit more seriously. I had courage to do what I needed to do to make sure I kept a job, to make sure they had clothes and food, and also to make sure that we continued to go to praise and worship. Built my strength. When I wasn't strong, God was strong for me. When I didn't know what to say or how to get through situations, I would step back, take a deep breath, and just pray and pray. And I made it. No one here on earth can do this for you. It's up to you. It's up to you to say yes to yourself. What do you believe in? What are your priorities in life? Is there something in your life that's hindering this, or that's making you question your faith or your importance to be here in life? I was able to build strength. I went into nursing school, and I was able to build a life for my children and myself. This gave me great self-worth. It showed my children that no matter what, you just continue to move forward and find your niche. And once you do that, everything else should fall in line. So I encourage everyone to not lose hope. Don't lose faith, because this is what we have to get through all these obstacles and struggles in life. Struggles are here for a reason. And as long as you don't give up, you will be stronger in the end. And know that trouble doesn't last always. So, as I would say, embrace your flaws and know that you're awesome regardless, because your weakness will eventually become your strongest points and your strongest traits in your life. Have a great rest of your week. Stay flawsome.